Oh, that was a bit of a rush. Sorry about that. Blink. It's 10 o'clock. How are we all? How are we? Good morning, Star. How are you? Oh, right, okay. Let's just move some stuff about. How are we all doing? Are we all good? Good morning from Rachel. Dry, dull but dry here today. Oh, well, here it is wet. Well, it's been wet. It's been raining, but it isn't at the moment. It has dried up a little bit, but there has been quite a bit of rain overnight, and it's not very. It's like you say, dull and miserable. Oh, right. What am I doing? What am I doing? Hi, Carol. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm setting up the correct thing. So how are we all today? Are we all having a good day so far? Mine's just been a little bit manic as always. It's just school runs. You know, school runs are stressful for me on a Wednesday. Bright Sudbury. Oh, you're lucky. Very lucky. I have a coffee at least, but it's gone cold. So that sums up the day, doesn't it, really? Good morning, Jan. Thank you. I did it. I went for the top. Good morning from North Carolina. Well, good morning. We're actually having fall weather. I hope everyone's having a great morning. Oh, that sounds lovely. It's just grey and boring here in Bristol. It's just a little bit meh. I actually had to go outside last night because my husband wanted me to go and move the car, and it was cold. I was actually shivering talking to him. I was like, "Do you want me to move it or not? So cold." But it's so nice to feel cold. Right, okay, so just let a few of you come in and say hello, and then we'll get down to it. So I'm going to show you the piece that we've got today. I really loved making this. It's a real statement piece. I really enjoyed doing this. So I'm going to switch the camera over in a moment and show you this. And what I love about this is it's actually a very versatile design. So by that I mean that, you know, you can, of course, do what I've done, or you could do the design on individual beads. Good morning, Trish. Good morning, all from a grey and chilly Ireland. Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it, actually. Trish is grey and chilly Bristol. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, so have we all had a good week so far? What have we been up to? Mine just, you know, when you just feel like you're just constantly go, go, go. I feel a bit like that. But, you know, I'm doing a painting tonight, so I'm excited for that. I'm painting a hedgehog while I'm teaching people how to paint a hedgehog, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So that should be fun. Good morning. I'm just giving everybody a little moment to come in and say hi. But what I will do is I'll pop the camera on the piece so you can actually see what the project for today is. Get it to look sort of okay-ish. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see. Good morning from a sunny Leicestershire. Oh, nice, Francis. Nice. Give you a little sneaky peek of what we're making today. If I can get my camera to cooperate. Oh, that's better. There we go. This is the piece we'll be making today. Nice, chunky statement necklace. Perfect for your fall weather and your autumn months that are coming up. Good morning, Sheila. How are you? So like I said, I'm just giving everybody a moment to come on in. Good morning, everyone. Cold and windy in Yorkshire. Yeah, it's just, but you know, I'm not mad about it. I'm not. I love a bit of winter. I love a bit of coolness because I love that you can sit. Ooh, undo that. I love that we can you know, if it's cold, you could just put like your hoodie on, or you could just wrap up in a blanket, and it's just, you know, you can get a nice cup of coffee or a nice hot drink and just hug it. You know, that to me is what it's all about. Good morning, Angela. How are you? wet and miserable for fur. Oh, I mean, it's a lovely contrast, isn't it, from when we first started doing this? Like, hi from a lovely, sunny, bright Yorkshire. Oh, it's so hot outside. Now we're like, oh my gosh, it's so cold. Oh. So I'm going to give everyone a little bit more of a moment just to come on in, and then I'm going to go and show you this lovely kit. Now, it's just one this today, so it is only in this colorway just because we're using these particular beads. Thank you, Natalie. Does it look all right? I'm just still getting used to it. I had it done on Monday, so it's gone from being here-ish to here. I was like, yeah, just do it, just do it. But I am actually, it's not, I feel so much sort of, oh, it's so much nicer. You know, it just feels like I can move my head. Yeah, so I went for it. I used to have my hair like this a lot, but then I thought I'd grow it. And then I just got bored of growing it, you know. Okie dokie, let's have a little look at what we are doing today. So I am going to switch the camera over. So this is the project for today. So I'm going to take you over to this screen where you can buy this. Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, so if you go over to the Totally Beads website, which is totallybeads.co.uk, and if you go on over, you can go into Home, Video Tutorials, and then from video tutorials, you can see all of our past projects as well. Some are by me, some are by the lovely Natalie, some are by Kitty, and others I'm sure, but this is just a really lovely mix of different styles as well. So you can see with chainmail, with beading, with wire work, seed beading, a bit of everything. So that's fantastic. So what I'm going to go ahead and show you this week is this project here, which is the Crescent turquoise necklace. So you'll see here that you'll have the video. So obviously that's what we're doing right now. So you'll be able to come back and see exactly how this is made. And then you can see we've got the kit now. At the moment, it is on offer for $12.99 instead of $14.99. I have to say, I think even for $14.99, that's incredible value for this kit. But it is offer for $12.99, and then you can see where you can buy the turquoise one. So I believe for the kit you get a strand. Yeah, so you will obviously get the strand. I'll clarify that, but it should be that you get the strand of the crescents. You get the turquoise rondelle beads, you get some 0.6 copper wire, you get some spacer beads that are like a copper toned color, and you get a toggle clasp. So you get, yeah, I mean, you can see there, you get the strand of crescent beads, you get the turquoise rondelles, you get the sort of spacer beads, and you get the copper wire. It's like a rose gold copper, and obviously then you can see if you just wanted to get maybe just a bead, if you wanted to get the turquoise howlite beads. I knew that they, yeah, so and just maybe not make the whole piece, then of course you can. Just remember that when you buy this, it is only one bead, whereas with the kit you get the whole strand, which includes 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 beads. So you do get 9 beads with the kit. Okay, so as I said, at the moment, limited offer of $12.99 instead of $14.99. You get, like I said, how many did I say? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So you get 9 of these beads, plus you get the strand of howlite beads, plus you get the turquoise, plus you get some spacer beads, copper colored spacer beads, wire, and toggle clasp. If you look at this, if you were just to get the 9, if you were just to get 9 of these crescents and this, that's going to be way over the price of the kit itself. So I do think it's a great price for this kit. Oh, thank you, Mina. Right, okay, I am going to I will come back to that a little bit later on, but I just wanted to share that it is a great statement piece. You're absolutely right, Sheila. Oh, I can I feel brave. Good morning, everyone, from Elaine. So it's lovely to hear from you all. you are absolutely right. This is a fantastic statement piece, and I actually wore this on Monday morning because I wanted to just good morning, Alison. I wore this on Monday morning because I wanted to see how comfortable it was to wear, and honestly, it's so comfortable to wear. And again, this is something that you can tweak about with. So, you know, I went for full-on statement. I've got the whole pieces going around. As you can see there, I have got 3 of the pieces wire wrapped. That's optional. You could do different pieces to be out. You could do these 2 as well if you wanted to, or you don't have to do any of them if you don't want to. I just like that little bit of additional detail. Good morning, Laura. Good morning all. Sun is shining in Coventry. Is it just me, or is the sound on YouTube not working? I don't know. Star is on YouTube from what I can see, and so is Francis. Is anybody else having sound issues on YouTube? Can you let me know? So also I wanted to just point out that with that kit for that amazing price, I also have excuse the beads they're mixed in with. This was from something else, but all of these rondelles are left over. Yeah. Or it's on YouTube, Joanne. I think it might be you. Really sorry. Everyone else seems to be okay. Thank you everyone for confirming that. That's really helpful. So yes. So just to say also, you know, I've made this statement piece, but look at all the beads that I've got left. Obviously, ignore the little tiny blue ones, but look at all of the howlite rondelles I've got left. I mean, just a look at that. Just as a statement stretchy bracelet. So instantly you've got potential of a stretchy bracelet. Plus I've got this in here. So I could, of course, go ahead and make some earrings. I could make so many earrings out of that. Plus I still have some of these copper beads left. So, you know, there is so much potential with this design-wise. Oh, in Cape Town. So what you could do, of course, is just have this section and then maybe just have your howlites and I have a long star necklace. So much you could do with this. It really has so much potential. So as I said, for $12.99, I think that's a crazy price. So definitely we'll go and check that out. So what we're going to do, it might just be my TV then. Loving the color beads. The color of this is just like, I am a green, a turquoise girl. You know, he said to me, what's your favorite color? It's green, it's turquoise, it's teals. And then because I feel that there's so much potential that could go with this. You know, if you team this with a lovely purple, it's going to look beautiful. And I just think, if you imagine you've got like a chunky black jumper on because it's getting chilly, and you've got this on over, how cool is that going to look? It's just going to look so contrasting and so cool. So yeah, that is the piece we're going to make. So I'm going to stop waffling on now and I'm going to go ahead and start showing you how we're going to make it. So as I said, you can see here we've got the toggle clasp. The only things you may need to add is maybe a crimp. I mean, that's probably it, and some Tigertail if you're going to bead it on. But other than that, you get pretty much everything you need to be able to go ahead and complete this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some little pops. Oh, that's where it is. You know when you go, oh, I wonder where that went. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and pop some of my beads ready into some little pots. And then I don't have them running around on my desk. So I'm just pop them into there. Maybe, right. So I'm going to pop some of them in. I'm going to pop some into here. You can hear me now, Joanne. Oh, amazing. That's perfect. So I'm just popping some of my spacer beads in here. So I'm just prepping some pieces. So I've got it all ready to go. And then, of course, you've got your crescent beads. So what we're going to go ahead and do, tool-wise, you don't need anything fancy, just your round nose pliers. Actually, I really think you really massively need round nose pliers. Just maybe some chain nose pliers. Some chain nose pliers. You will need your crimps. If you're crimping, which you probably should be. Right, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, cutters, and some crimp pliers. So the reason that we have to, I've got a confession to make. I went away for the weekend. We went to the cottage. Some of you know I've got got a cottage in Dulverton. So I went away for the weekend, and I very cleverly left my flush cutters at home. So I'm resorted to my kind of little backup random cheap pair, but that's fine. They cut, and that's the main thing. Morning, Elaine. Love the little dishes. Thank you. I actually made these. I made these out of shrink plastic. So I doodled into them, and then I basically shrunk them, and then I just kind of formed them. So they're really cool, aren't they? I think they're really cool. Look at me bigging myself up. But they're just like fantastic little dishes just to keep your stuff in, because I'm that person, and they stack-ish together. So thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to explain the pattern to you very quickly. So we're basically going to start off here, and then I just feel like I've missed something. Early morning viewers went to a networking meeting. Oh, how did that go, Mina? That sounds great. Your friend invited you as she knows someone who owns a bridal boutique for my jewellery. Oh, that's amazing. What an amazing opportunity. Okay, so we'll see. What I'm going to do is just explain the necklace before we do it. We're going to start here, and we're going to build this necklace together. You think I should what, these little dishes? If I made them, would anyone be interested in them? I'm quite happy to make them. I loved it. You can see this one was done on purple. This one was on black. This was on red, and this was on black with copper. No, give me a shout if you're interested. Okay, so you'll see here the pattern will go a spacer, a rondelle, a spacer, a spacer, a rondelle, a spacer. Spacer, rondelle, spacer. So you can see the pattern is quite nice and simple. So we're going to space it out with that in between, and then just towards the end there I just added a little bit of extra just spacer beads, just because I wanted to just give it that little moment, you know, when you're doing that, it's nice to have that sort of extra space there. Okay, wow, okay, thank you. Well, I might have to get busy then. Okay. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you. So I'm going to show you one of the beads that we've made from earlier. And this is basically what we're going to do. We're going to make a couple of beads like this. And these are done just using, okay, thank you everyone. Oh, that's really sweet. Okay, maybe I'll look into it. My dog has decided that now is the time, 20 minutes into my life, to start crying because he is cold. And any of you I know who attend like my live when I do the bead club for Totally Beads know about Blue Dog. He is currently just stood crying and crying and crying. So I give him 10 minutes before he starts to bark. So we've got the bead here, and what I want to show you is that the drill hole on these beads are incredible. So you'll see there that not only have I got wires 4 wires going through each side. I mean, I think you're going to be very, very successful with that. I mean, it's very, very popular. I mean, a bridal boutique is an ideal place to get your jewelry, because people, you know, if you're in a shop, you've got that umbrella over your head. It's going to be amazing. So what I've done is we're going to decorate the beads first, and then we're going to piece the whole thing together. So as I said, how you choose to piece it together is of course up to you. Now look at the size of these drill holes. Is that not just fantastic? I mean, you don't have to put them all into that necklace. You could put one as a bracelet, have one here, and then beads next to it. So loads you could do. So what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to just decorate one of these. Okay, So I'm going to take some of my wire. Now, those of you who know me know I'm not very good with saying exactly how much we need. So I would say, and the wire that you get, I think we get a few meters. I can't remember exactly how many, but enough for me to do 3 of these beads, 4 of these beads very comfortably. So I have got probably a little bit too much wire here, but it was my last little bit. So I've got probably, I'd say about a ruler's length, maybe sort of 30 centimeters, 12 inches or so. And you need 2 of those, okay? So you want 2 lengths. So 2, let me cut it down to length. Blue is getting close, so he's now edged to the edge of my studio. You'll start to hear him. Blue dog. Okay, so downside to having those on your desk. Do not chuck your pliers into them. Live on camera. There we go. So I've got my length of wire here. Got a lovely message and photos from the bridal order. The bride had so many lovely compliments as they made her herringbone set. And isn't it lovely to know as well that you're involved in their special day? I just think what an honour to be able to do that. I made a tiara for one of my best friends for her wedding, and she had rose quartz. So sorry, I put rose quartz and crystal quartz chips all into it and like did a proper tiara spray, full on. I mean, it was a heavy tiara with some Swarovski crystals in with it. And she, you know, because she had very soft pink in the edging of her dress, so she wanted to tie that in. And yeah, it was just really lovely to be able to make that for her. Okay, so what I've done is I have just gone ahead and put the bead onto both of those wires. Choose the side of the stone that you might want to be that front, if there is a definite front or back. And then all we're going to do is take one side, hug it quite close to the stone, the barking has started. And I'm just going to use my thumb. I'm just going to, oops, that's fine if that happens. There we go, push it back up. Swirl. Both the wires as if they were one. So both the wires have gone through. And then I'm going to kind of go around like so. And then another little swirl. So all I'm doing with my hand is just keeping that wire pushed against there. And to be honest, it's probably all I'm going to get on that one side because there's not a lot of wire left. So play about with the length of wire that you use. If I'd have left it at that little bit longer, I would have a little bit more wire to play about with. But it depends really on the design that you want. You might only want it to be quite minimal. So I'd say a minimum of 12 inches or 30 centimeters, but you know, go a little bit longer as well if you can. So what I'm then going to do is bring this to here, and I'm just going to snip. World's worst pliers. These are literally cheap pliers that came with my 3D printer. And then this is where we can take our chain nose pliers and just fold those wires so they tuck nicely into the edge of your stone. And that's one decoration. I mean, look at that as a pendant. How lovely would that be? You could make a bail there and you've got a really lovely pendant. You could add drops to the bottom if you wanted to, or like a window charm as well, you know, maybe having that as a window decoration, or a mobile, anything really. And you notice what I'm doing is I'm just using my thumb and just pushing that down. I'm just really making sure that is nice and snug in there. And then with this one, I'm going to basically do the same. Now, you don't always have to do the swirls. So I'm coming into here, and then I'm just going to do maybe a little swirl just here. Or what I could do is a little loop. The wire seems very soft to work with. It really is. It's a 0.6, and the 0.6 wire it gives you enough strength to hold that shape, but you're able to manipulate it so easily. So, you know, it's going to hold really nicely. but it's not difficult to work with at all, 100%. Now, when you get to here, again, you can either trim that and just tuck it into the edge there, or you could even wrap it around that wire. Can any of you hear my dog crying? He is really going for it now. My husband was trying to cut cable ties with my Xeron needle pliers. Do you know, I can get yeah, I love the needle pliers actually, and if you've got those, I'm just trying to find mine, they would be fantastic for this because you've got that lovely precision and that fine detail. I do love my Xerons. Just to clarify, these are not Xerons. These are just a cheap pair of pliers that came with my 3D printer. They look like the Xerons, but they are not. So I would never disrespect Xerons. I love them too much, as you can tell. So there you have. You can. I might have to in a moment do something about him because all he wants is to be wrapped up in a blanket, but he will be persistent. Can you hear his whimpers? On it, don't. Poor little pup. No. Do you know why he's crying? Because he wants to be wrapped up in a blanket. And he will cry the whole time until I wrap him up. So I am going to just be so rude and very quickly move. Blue dog. Seriously, mate. Right, get up. Get up. Up. Okay. Right, I apologise. I'm so sorry, but if I didn't do that, I've sorted him. I had to sort him. I'm sorry. Lucy, you know what he's like when we do the bead clubs. He gets to a point where he comes into my studio and he just looks at me and he'll just go, woof. And I'm just like, do you know, all it was is he just wants a blanket on the sofa to lay on. That's all it was. God, dogs, I'm telling you. Okay, so thank you for your understanding. So we can see here, that's how quick and easy it is. Okay, so you're just going to do that for all of the pieces. Let me see if I've got any more. I did just use possibly the last of that. I've got it in a different colour. No, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you how to assemble it because it really is just that easy to do that section there. So now what you want to do is start to lay out your design. So I'm going to change this one up because I've got an extra wrapped one now. So I'm actually going to have this, I'm actually going to have two wrapped and one plain in the middle. Okay, bear with me one moment while I just suss out my stuff. You may possibly need a little jump ring as well for your toggle clasp, but other than that, you can add your toggle directly to your beading thread if you wanted to. You all know that. Okay, oopsie. So, placing it out design-wise, okay, I'm just placing it here so I know roughly how it's going to look. Got it here and here. And then, again, I might change it so that these actually go to the side. And as I said, when you're actually doing this, you might not want to go all the way around with the actual beading. You might want to just go just to a certain point. There are no rules. We know this. Okay, so we've got that one there. Then finally we have that there. So we're just going to change this one up a tiny bit. Running late, but I got my kit. Lovely design. Oh, thank you, Janice. It's an amazing price. I've got to be honest. When these are like £1 each, and you get 9 in the on a strap. Well, approximately, because obviously I'm going by what I got in my kit. So approximately 9 in a kit. How cool is that? So again, I mean, when you hold it, let me show you it like this. I could actually just, put one bead in between it, if you wanted to, but I quite liked having that so it lays around your neck. So we're going to go ahead now and start to piece this together. The box of sweet beads. What's the sweet beads? That sounds interesting. Oh, it sounds very interesting. I love a box of beads. Right, so when it comes to your Tigertail, you need quite a lot. I'm one of those that likes to have more than I need. So I am going to, I've got about an arm's length, probably about 1.5 meters, probably too much. But again, like I said, I like to have too much. So I'm going to start off with the bottom bead here. And I'm just going, now this can be a little bit of patience. You do need a tiny bit of patience with this because you have got those wires in place. So you do just need to give it a little bit of a wiggle. It should go through quite easily. Okay, so just like so. And then I'm going to add on my pattern. So because these need those beads to actually get them to sit like this, otherwise they will sit like on top of each other and it doesn't work. So I found that a nice size was to do a 1 spacer, 1 turquoise, and then another spacer. It's just a pattern that I found. Hi, Debbie. Wire wrapping bead looks good. It is really so much fun. If you look back in the video, I do show you how it's done, but it's so quick and easy. And the great thing about this as well, something I think I forgot to mention, is that they don't all have to look the same. They can all be different. And also, they just have a bit of fun and don't overthink it. Your main key is just to get these wires. So on this one, it's sprung out a little bit. So on that, what I would probably do is if you do have like needle pliers or something like that, you can really push that wire in, then that would be great. But once it starts to get the once it gets the beads added on anyway, it's not, it settles down. What I sometimes do is close my pliers and then just push, just to really get that wire nice and snug. See how that's now sitting a lot nicer? So, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to bring both ends of the wire through the middle bead, which in this case is actually empty, so it's got no wire around it at all. So it's going to go through very, very easily in opposite directions, she says, and then struggles. There we go. So opposite directions, bring that wire together, and then when we do this, you get that nice spacing. Now, you could, of course, I did that with 3, but what would look possibly nice as well, let's play about with that design a tiny bit. I could space it. I do like having the rondelles in the middle of the copper. So I'm actually just going to put 2 and see if that makes it any different. So it's always nice to play about with the design. Is that your doggy snoring? I can hear. Of course it is. Of course. Of course it is. She's a little snuffle ball. Oh, actually, I'll show you this now because you haven't seen this. Yes, it is Princess Savannah Ivy Blue that is snoring in the background. But let me show you something. I'm going to just turn this around so you don't have to hide. Just either have to see the state of my studio while I position to show you. Ready? Brace yourself. This. What is this? I wasn't sure if it was a motorbike outside. No, it's this. This little one here. Sabs. And this is Benny. Benny. Hey, Ben. living their best life. He's the three-legged lurcher. She's the little frog. Little French bulldog, aren't you, baby girl? Yep, there you go. That's what's making all that noise. That little one. So, to be fair, he's lucky that she's actually sharing with him, because normally she'll sit on my leg and just paw at me until I make him move. And I normally have to go, Benny, move. And he goes, fine. So it's actually really sweet that she's sharing with him. So you can add the extra one if you wanted to, like that, just for a slightly different visual. So I might do that on this. So on the first one I actually just did one spacer, one howlite, and one spacer. But on this one, I'm changing it up a little bit, and I am putting on 2 howlites, turquoise howlites, and then another spacer bead, and then placing that on there again. So quite looking like so. Oh, excuse me, that snuck up on me. I apologize. Oh, and then again, I'm going to just come through in one direction. Oh, excuse me. Something bothered me then. Oh, apologies. Okay, so I've gone through in one direction. I'm going to take my bead and thread, and I'm going to go through in the opposite direction. Thank you, Joanne. Oh, where that came from, it snuck up on me. I think I like that a little bit more. So I think I would probably say personal. Thank you, Star. Thank you, everyone. I think I like for this section, just for this section, have an extra turquoise in it. It gives it a little bit more separation. And then again, so that's our main drop there. And then you should have bead and thread coming out in opposite directions. And then it's just a matter of very, very simply spacer bead, howlite, spacer bead. And then you could do one side at a time if you've got it laid out. So spacer bead. And also, can you just note how quick this project would take to actually compile as well? It doesn't really take that long even to do the beads. And what I would say is I would pre-prep the beads so that they are ready to just all be thread on together. So once you've done that, you can then plan it. And again, so we've now got one with the wires going through. So you just want to carefully, you do have to have a little bit of patience with this bit, and a little bit of this is possibly the trickiest bit, because obviously it's got a little bit going on there. It will go on. It just needs to find its way. There you go. A little bit of patience, and it will go on. And you've got that there. And then bead, howlite, and bead. And then finally one more. So you've got that there. And then for that final pattern, I've gone bead. So initially I went bead, howlite, and then just about 5 beads. I think to keep in with this, I might go bead, 2 howlites, and a bead. And then maybe 2 howlites, and turquoise howlites, and a bead. And I think that's going to give a really lovely finish to your necklace. Now, as I said, I played about with this, and I did actually have it initially with just a 3 and then a long row of this, and it looks really nice. No, I will double check, but it should be all of them. I will, however, just triple check with them. Let me just double check it with them. I'm just waiting for confirmation because it does say that you are right, but the picture does show a strand. So I'm just waiting for confirmation, but I believe it to be the strand. So, okay, so yeah, you get 9 of the crescent beads. So Simon's just confirmed you get 9, which is what you've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is exactly what you need to make this necklace. Plus, as I said, you're going to have loads of these howlites left over. Plus you get the toggle, plus you get your spacer beads. So good question, though. Good to clarify. Yeah, I read that as well, but the picture itself, as I said, shows. Okay, so yeah, you'll get the 9 beads. It is a strand, but they're going to be sold individually as well. So I guess the thing is, if you wanted to maybe get the kit and then maybe you wanted a couple more because you might want it longer, or you might want to make a matching pendant to go with it or something like that, then you don't have to sort of purchase the whole set again. Although I will say for that price, you've definitely got a bargain anyway. Because as I said, the howlite rondelles are £8 on their own, and these beads are £1 on their own. So to get that whole kit with the wire, the beads, the spacer beads, toggle clasp, I think that's a really, really good deal. Okay, so I've got this one here, so I'm just going to feed this wire through. Again, I say wire, it's bead and thread. It's because when you work naturally, when I work with wire so much, everything is wire. So again, last one. Okay, and then that final one there. And then I'm just going to make that matching section here. So again, I'm going to come in with, just check I got it right, yeah. So I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to come in with this one. I'm going to come in with 2. So I have changed the pattern slightly, literally with just the spacer beads. So on this one in the picture, you'll see it goes 1 spacer bead, 1 rondelle, and 1 spacer bead. But just doing it like this, I actually think I like that drop a little bit better. But I 100% advise have a little play about with the design yourself and see what you like. I liked it both ways. So we've got that there, and that's going to be a nice finish, and it's going to sit really nice around the whole of your neckline as well. So, and again, if you wanted this just to be that little bit longer, you add just a few more beads here. Okay, and as I said, if you wanted to go ahead and buy any of these beads individually, they're only £1 each extra anyway. So I have very cleverly not got my crimp beads. I'm just going to grab some crimp beads and cover very quickly from my stash. Now, I'm sure you all know how to do crimps and put crimps on and everything else, but for the benefit of the doubt and for those who don't, I'm going to go ahead, pop on my crimp bead. I will pop on my toggle clasp after. You can add it at this point with a jump ring, or you can add it on after. I'm going to just pop this on. I'm going to take my bead and thread, come back down through. So I've created my loop, come back down through. Just going to show you how I do this. And I'm just going to come back down a few of those beads. Probably that'll be enough. So what I do is I take my pliers and I find the side that doesn't move when I pull on my pliers, so I know I've got the main strand, and then I just reduce that down. So I've gone down through 3 beads just to give it extra security. Pop on that, pull that down so it's over my pliers, and then there's the bead. And then I use crimping pliers. These are the Xeron crimping pliers. And you see that little triangle just in the middle, just here. I'm going to just place my crimp bead straight into that and crunch. And that brings it straight into that nice little fold. And then at the bottom bit here, you've got these, like, just see those little shapes there. Find the one that suits and just gently roll that into a nice little tube, and then that gives you a really nice neat finish. I know people probably know how to do that, but sometimes it is nice to know how other people do it. When you cut that strand, make sure you do only cut the right strand, and I say that from experience. Okay, now you can see, and then I've got my jump ring that I've already attached to one side of my toggle. And I'm just going to be careful because the spacer beads have got quite a large drill hole on them. So I like to pop on a crimp cover if you've got one. I know Totally Beads sell the crimp covers as well and the crimp beads. So just to stop it doing exactly what I did then, it sort of went down into the beading, the spacer bead hole. So I'm going to just pop on my crimp cover. Oopsie. There we go. I'm doing that so that everyone knows it's not just them that it jumps on. And then I'm just popping that straight in. And again, top tip I can give for crimp covers is I place it on and then I just give it a little, oopsie, I give it a little kind of pinch, and that just locks it into place. And then I can just roll that around. There we go. And there is your closed crimp bead, ties in nicely with everything else. And then I can go ahead and I can add on my jump ring with my toggle clasp. Use your pliers to close this. Do not use your fingers. Make sure you've got a good close on that as well, because otherwise it can escape over that beading thread. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same on the other side. So again, I'm going to take another piece of another crimp, and I know I cut probably, I mean, that's all the extra beading thread that I've cut off. So again, I always like to have options, because if something goes wrong, then I have enough on the other side. So say I had accidentally cut that, I might not have to rethread the whole thing. If I've got enough on this side, I can kind of wiggle it back down. I'm just an options girl. That's all it is I like to have options. Okay, all the way down, 3 or 4, it doesn't really matter. Okay, back to here. What length does it come out to? I will tell you in a moment. Pauline, if you just give me 2 seconds, and I will tell you. But it comes out, bear with me 1 moment. Just let me just get this little piece done, and I will measure this one for you. It should come out at around about a comfortable sort of 18 inches or so. Again, you can vary it with how many beads you put onto it. I will show you in a moment. And then a quick cover. And it is worth taking that time to round that bead, because then the bead sits nicely in the cover. If you don't round the bead, it doesn't sit as nicely. See, this one's giving me a bit of grief because I rushed it a tiny bit and I didn't round it properly. Let's try that again. And obviously, before we do that crimp, just make sure that everything is nice and snug. Sabs is very, very comfortable right now. She is snoring. Okay. So last little section there. Okay, so this particular one will come out at, we can measure it, so you have that there. Oh, I will give a quick tip. I will measure it now. A quick tip also that you could have done is you could have maybe that bead there, or one of the spacer beads, it is a little bit smaller with a crimp bead, but you could add an additional crimp in at this point. So if you added a crimp and then when you came back down, you crimp there and there, it gives a little bit of extra support. Okay, so how long is this one? Let's have a measure. So it measures at, so from side here, yeah, so from here to here is about 9 inches. So it's going to be about 18 inches with that drop. Okay, so I'll show you what it's kind of like on as well. Give me a moment so you can kind of see it being worn. Let me just switch. So it's a bit wonky because I haven't got the best of view. So you can see, and then you can kind of just, maybe, I think I actually did do it a little bit shorter so it sat nicely like so as well. But you can play about, oh, I'm wonky. But you can play about with the placement of this as well. So you could have, there you go. So I think I actually had it a little bit more like that. So it sat nicely. So it sits around your neck in that nice sort of style. Also, if anyone had like memory wire, that would be quite nice to keep that round shape if you wanted. So my camera's mirrored, so it's not helping me line this up. There we go. Yeah, statement necklace. Nice, comfortable to wear. Let's see if I can just take it back off now. And that's your overall style. As I said, you can sort of try about with different lengths on this if you wanted to. You could just have it up to here and then just put all beads along it, you know, play about with the design. I just really liked that kind of effect of it sitting around your neck like that. I just thought it was really pretty. So yeah, that's pretty much everything.
I don't know that.
My talking machine got involved then. I will very, very quickly just take you back over to the website just so you can see one more time to see the details as to where to get it if you're just a little bit late joining us. So you can see that you go over to totallybeads.co.uk, go to Facebook, you go to video tutorials, and you'll see there it's under the Crescent turquoise necklace. And then you can see you've got the whole kit there on special offer of $12.99. Thank you very much, Lucy. Looks glorious. Definitely a statement piece. It is. But, you know, it's winter coming up, so you need to have a little bit of a statement look, don't you? You've got there, obviously, the beads are available to buy on their own for £1. The howlite beads are also available to buy on their own for £8. But you can get the whole kit, which is 9 of these crescent beads, a whole strand of the turquoise rondelles, plus spacer beads, plus 0.6 wire, plus a toggle clasp. And you get all of that for $12.99. So you're looking for me. Oh, thanks, Trish. So you can see there how you can. I think that's a brilliant deal myself. Even at $14.99, I think that's a fantastic deal. Just clarify, you do get 9 of the crescent beads. You get the 0.6 copper, it's rose gold wire. You get the turquoise rondelle beads, you get the crescent beads, 9 of those, toggle clasp, spacer bead, plus you get the tutorial on how to do this. So yeah, have a little go. You can see that's a piece that you can make there. And yeah, I think, oh, you get 6 meters of the wire. So I don't know how long you got. So you get 6 meters, which is enough for you to decoratively do 4 of these beads comfortably. So, you know, it's a great deal. I'm going to end that there. I think I'm back with you next week. I've got to clarify. We're going to be doing a wire rose within a rose, which I'm really excited about. So hopefully you can join me for that. I'm going to say thank you for joining me. Thanks for, you know, chatting to me this lovely grey morning. And I am going to crack on now and get myself another cup of coffee. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. And yeah, I will speak to you all very soon. Happy beading, everyone.